After a billionaire faints, 8-year-old girl reveals incredible courage by driving him to safety. The sun shone brightly over Maplewood, illuminating the faces of families gathered for the annual charity event hosted by the enigmatic Mr. Jameson. Laughter bubbled in the air, mingling with the sweet aromas from food stalls, but at the edge of the crowd stood 8-year-old Lily Thompson, her heart racing with a mix of excitement and dread. Her father had spent weeks teasing her about attending, his grease-stained hands pulling together dreams of a better life as he fixed engines day in and day out. She wanted to escape, she needed a thrill to chase her dreams racing around her head. Suddenly, chaos erupted. The crowd gasped as Mr. Jameson collapsed, gasping for air. People rushed to help, but panic spread like wildfire. Lily's heart ignited. This was her moment, fueled by her father's tales of resilience and bravery. She squeezed through the crowd, her small hands tingling with energy and purpose. Ignoring the hesitations of the adults around her, she dashed toward Mr. Jameson's luxury car, unaware of the gasps and murmurs that followed her. She climbed into the driver's seat, her fingers trembling against the steering wheel. The luxury car gleamed, a representation of everything she thought she'd never have: wealth, power, freedom. But with every beat of her heart, guilt clawed at her. Was she really helping? Or was she just another pawn in this game of wealth, pretending to hold the reins? With a deep breath, Lily slammed her foot on the gas pedal. The engine roared to life as she sped from the curb, the world outside a blur of colors. The thrill coursed through her veins, drowning out her worries. Focus, focus, she muttered, remembering her father's encouragement and simple lessons. She navigated the streets, her little hands steady but her heart thrumming with fear and fervor. She wasn't just driving, she was racing against judgment, racing to save more than just Mr. Jameson. She was racing for her community, for dignity, for a change. People on the sidewalks pointed, some cheering for the brave girl, others shocked at her audacity. "Is she serious?" whispered a designer-dressed woman. "What is she doing?" But the energy of the crowd shifted. Admiration for Lily mingled with outrage against the societal divides they all felt deep in their bones. Her act of bravery became a symbol, a challenge to redefine who could help whom in this tight-knit community. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As she navigated through the bustling town, sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer, urging her to push harder. Will this daring act bridge the widening gap between rich and poor? Each turn brought more than adrenaline, it brought hope. Hope that if she saved Mr. Jameson, maybe she could change hearts, create friendships, and spark a revolution against the assumptions that clung to the town like shadows on a summer day. With the hospital looming ahead, Lily felt the weight of her world on her small shoulders. The stakes were high. Could she really save them all? With her heart pounding and determination blazing in her chest, she pressed the pedal down further, ready to find out what awaited her on the other side of this wild ride. The hospital came into view, a massive building of glass and steel that towered over the smaller homes of Maplewood. Lily's heart raced faster, pounding against her ribcage like a drum. Her fingers tightened around the steering wheel as she swerved into the emergency entrance. The car jolted to a stop, tires squealing against the pavement. Sharp footsteps echoed as staff rushed out, eyes wide with disbelief at the sight before them. An 8-year-old girl behind the wheel of a luxury car, panting like she'd just sprinted a marathon. "Get him out! Get him inside!" Lily shouted, her small voice a blend of urgency and fear. The heat of the moment surged through her, mixing with the coolness of the hospital's air conditioning. Medical personnel sprang into action, effortlessly lifting Mr. Jameson from the passenger seat. She watched, breathless, as they rolled him into the building on a stretcher, their faces a mask of focused determination. Could her hastily executed plan actually work? Could she really have saved him? As she hopped out of the car, a crowd began to gather, whispers rippling through the onlookers. The shock slowly morphed into admiration. "Did you really drive him here?" a teenage girl asked, wide-eyed. Lily shrugged, a mix of pride and shyness swelling in her chest. "I had to do something. He was in trouble." Various reactions sparked from the crowd. Some clapped, appreciating her bravery, while others exchanged glances of concern. They weren't just looking at a girl, they were witnessing a seismic shift in their own beliefs about community and support. A familiar face broke through the throng. It was Lily's father, hurrying toward her, his brow furrowed with worry. Relief flooded his features when he saw she was okay. "Lily. What were you thinking?" "I had to save him, Dad," she exclaimed, her little voice cracking with emotion. People were scared, and he needed help. He knelt to her level, eyes softening. "You did something incredible. But it was dangerous, I know," but her voice softened, fighting against tears. "I wanted to show everyone we can help each other, regardless of who we are." At that moment, the double doors swung open, and a doctor stepped out, the fluorescent lights behind him casting an eerie glow over his face. The crowd quieted instantly, each person holding their breath, waiting. "Is he okay?" someone finally asked, breaking the silence that hung heavy in the air. The doctor paused, glancing over the throng of expectant faces. "Mr. Jameson is stable. You all can breathe now." A collective sigh of relief washed over them. Lily felt renewed strength surge through her, connected to every cheer she had ever heard while racing her bike down the dirt roads. This was her community, all of them standing together, witnessing the renewal of hope and compassion, but amid the applause and the relieved chatter, there was something else stirring within her. As she turned to look back at the hospital, a restless thought took root: what if this was just the beginning? Revolutionary ideas whirled in her young mind, possibilities bursting like fireworks. If she could drive a billionaire to safety, what else could she change? With a spark in her eyes, she knew the healing wouldn't stop with one act of bravery. She had opened a door, but surely there was more to come. And as she walked back, her father by her side, she felt the weight of expectation settle on her small shoulders, daring her to step through that threshold. What could possibly happen next? As they walked away from the emergency entrance, Lily's head swam with a whirlpool of emotions. The cheers and admiration from the crowd clung to her like a warm blanket. But soon, anxiety crept in. Would she be able to live up to what people expected of her now? She glanced at her father, who seemed proud but also deeply concerned. "Dad, do you think they'll look at me differently?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He ruffled her hair, an affectionate gesture meant to soothe her worries. "You did something amazing today. But what matters is who you are, not what you've done." It comforted her, yet her mind raced ahead, imagining all the ways she could help. The thought of making a real difference ignited a fire in her soul. With each step, ideas jostled for attention: neighborhood cleanups, helping the elderly, maybe even setting up a charity bake sale. Just then, a young girl, maybe a year or two older than Lily, approached her hesitantly. "Hi, I'm Emma," she said, a shy smile breaking through her nervousness. "I saw what happened. You were really brave." "Thanks," Lily said, her cheeks flushing. "It all happened so fast. What if we did something together?" Emma suggested, her eyes lighting up with enthusiasm. "To help our community? You know, since you're already the hero." Lily's heart raced anew. A hero? Was she really one? Swallowing her self-doubt, she replied, "What do you have in mind?" "Maybe we could organize a neighborhood day. Like, a festival or something. Food, games." Emma's excitement bubbled over, her hands animatedly expressing her visions. People could come together. Not just to cheer for one person, but for everyone. Lily could hardly contain her excitement. "That's a great idea. We could invite local businesses too. And I could talk to Mr. Jameson about getting help." As the two girls brainstormed, Lily's father watched from a distance, a proud smile gracing his lips. She felt buoyed by the possibilities that were unfolding around her. It sparked something in the crowd as well. More children gravitated toward them, each offering to help with ideas and contributions, visions expanding like ripples in a pond. "Can I help too?" a boy called out, his hair tousled and a grin spreading across his freckled face. "I can play music. Count me in." Another voice chimed in, and soon, excitement pulsed through the gathering crowd. Lily felt it sweep over her, a rising tide of creativity and determination. They began planning, organizing into small groups, each tasked with a different part of their vision. Lily felt a heady rush as she stood at the center of it all. She wasn't just a girl who had saved someone today, she was the heartbeat of something bigger now, a movement that could inspire others to act and change their world. Later that day, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, painting the sky hues of purple and gold, Lily stood atop the small hill that overlooked Maplewood. She breathed in the scent of fresh-cut grass and blooming flowers. It was beautiful, a world full of potential, yet, amidst the thrill, a nagging thought remained. What if she couldn't handle all of this? What if her dreams were too big? But before she could dwell further on that fear, she caught sight of a familiar figure walking through the hospital doors again. Mr. Jameson was upright, and though he looked fragile, he was smiling. The moment sent a rush of hope surging through her. He raised a hand, acknowledging her, and in that moment, she sensed her purpose crystallize. Surely, she could weave more miracles into the fabric of her town. "Just you wait," she murmured under her breath, a pact she made with herself. But even as her heart swelled with determination, another question loomed large: what challenges would arise as she stepped further into the role of a young leader? The answer seemed a world away, waiting for her. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the park, Lily's enthusiasm began to bubble at the surface. The festival was a dream, and she could almost feel the laughter in the air. Thoughts of children playing and families gathering filled her with warmth. She felt unstoppable, but as she looked around, the excitement of the day started to wane. She gazed at Emma, who was deep in conversation with a few other kids about decorations. Lily's heart sank slightly. They had all these ideas, but how would they make it happen? Where would they find the resources? "Hey, Lily." Emma's voice pulled her back. "Are you okay? You seemed a little lost for a second." "I'm good," just Lily hesitated. "I was just thinking about how much we need to do and if we can really pull it off." Emma caught her gaze, her expression serious. "We've got this. And we're all here to help you. You're a born leader." She smiled brightly, but the doubt still swirled in Lily's chest. Right then, the air grew heavier as someone cleared their throat nearby. It was Mr. Jameson. He walked slowly towards them, a faint smile on his face, but the weariness in his eyes was evident. Lily's heart raced. His presence was significant, a reminder of the reason why they were doing this in the first place. "Hi, Mr. Jameson." She called out, waving. "How are you feeling?" "Much better, thank you, dear." "It's amazing what a little time can do," he replied, his voice softer than she remembered. "I've heard about your plans for the festival. I wanted to say, it's inspiring to see a young girl like you take charge." Lily felt her cheeks heat up. "Thanks. We just want to bring people together," she replied, trying to keep her voice steady. "Community can heal. I'd love to help however I can," he said, a glimmer of determination sparking in his eyes. It was more than just encouragement, it felt like an endorsement. "If you need supplies or connections, I can assist. Just let me know." Her spirits soared, and she beamed at Emma, who exchanged equally thrilled glances. They could do this. They had support. They were not just kids playing a game, they were creating something real. As they continued to brainstorm, ideas flowed forth like a river. They listed everything they'd need: tents, games, prizes, food, and Lily's mind raced with the logistics. It was exhilarating but scary at the same time. Each idea danced through her thoughts, but somewhere deep down, anxiety lurked, reminding her of the weight of responsibility. What if no one comes? Lily voiced suddenly, her heart pounding. What if all our planning is for nothing? Emma stepped closer. Hey, don't think like that. People will come, I know they will. With Emma's reassurance, Lily felt a flicker of hope reignite. They had shown community spirit today, and surely with the work they put in, they would gather everyone. But, as much as she wanted to push the doubt aside, the worry gnawed at her. Let us not worry about what-ifs right now, Mr. Jameson interjected gently. Focus on the what can be. That's where the magic is. His words echoed in her heart. That was true. Perhaps this was just the beginning of something even greater, something that could change perceptions and lives in Maplewood. Filled with fresh determination, Lily glanced around at the enthusiastic faces gathered near her. Okay, let us get started. We can meet tomorrow to divide the tasks. Everyone can contribute. Yeah. Came the chorus of voices, filled with excitement and belief, but as the sun swallowed the horizon, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that the real challenge lay just ahead. What if all of this fell apart when they stepped into the unknown? Would she find the courage to push through? With these swirling questions tucked in her heart, she held on to the vision of the festival as her guiding star. One step at a time, but deep inside, she wondered, what would happen when everything was on the line? The next morning, a fresh breeze rolled through Maplewood, bringing with it a mix of excitement and lingering doubts in Lily's heart. She stood in front of her mirror, taking a deep breath. Today was the day they would start organizing everything for the festival. The worry from last night still clung to her like a heavy coat, but she had to shake it off. Okay, Lily. You can do this, she muttered to herself. Just focus. After a quick breakfast, she grabbed her notebook and headed out. The park was already buzzing with life. Families walked their dogs, joggers wove their paths, and children happily rode their bikes. With every step towards the park, Lily's heart thudded louder. She had to face her friends, face the plans, and face her fears. Emma was already there, waving vigorously as Lily approached. You made it. She shouted, a sparkle of energy in her voice. I've talked to a few parents, and they're excited to help. Amazing. That's a huge step, Lily said, her confidence growing just a little. As the other kids began to arrive, Lily felt a wave of warmth wash over her. This was her team, her support. They were all here to build something beautiful together. They gathered in a circle under the sprawling branches of an old oak tree, and Lily couldn't help but smile as she looked around at their eager faces. All right, team. Lily said, raising her notebook in the air like a trophy. Let us start planning. We need to split up the tasks so we can really get this show on the road. As ideas flew around, voices overlapping and excitement crackling like static, Lily felt the anxiety ebbing away. Emma suggested a games booth, Max chimed in with ideas for food, and Ava proposed a talent show that got everyone giggling with anticipation. But just when the planning seemed to be gaining momentum, a loud crash erupted from the direction of the playground. They turned to see a man in a suit, clutching his chest, tumbling to the ground. Panic swept through Lily's heart. Is he okay? Someone shouted. Emma's eyes widened. Without thinking, Lily rushed towards the scene. Stay back. She called to her friends, firmly. She didn't know where this courage bubbled from, but she pushed through the crowd, kneeling next to the man. His face was pale, and he struggled to breathe. Help! She shouted, feeling a knot in her stomach. Someone call 911. Then, with a shaky breath, she remembered what she had seen on TV about emergencies. While others panicked, she felt a strange sense of calm wash over her. Sir, can you hear me? She asked, trying to sound grown up. Stay with me. Help is coming. The man's eyes darted toward her, confusion mixed with fear. Water, he murmured faintly. Okay, okay. I'll get you water. Without hesitation, Lily sprang up, scanning the crowd. Does anyone have water? Someone finally handed her a bottle, and she rushed back, gently helping him sip while keeping an eye on the approaching paramedics. The adults had gathered around, but none seemed willing to take charge. It was strange. Here she was, an 8-year-old girl in a situation that was way out of her league, yet somehow she felt responsible, like this was her moment to shine. As the sirens blared closer, she felt a swell of pride that she had taken action when it mattered most. She glanced at her friends, who were wide-eyed, standing just a few steps back. They witnessed her bravery, and she realized then that perhaps, just perhaps, she was stronger than she thought. But as the paramedics took over, and the commotion started to settle, one thought crept back into her mind. What if she had done something wrong? With that weight pulling at her, she navigated her way back to Emma and the rest, feeling a mix of triumph and vulnerability. Would her courage be enough to guide them through the challenges ahead? Lily fidgeted with her notebook, her heart racing once more. As they regrouped under the oak tree, that deep question lingered. How would her actions shape the festival and her future? As the crowd began to disperse, Lily found herself standing beneath the oak tree, her notebook still clutched tightly in her hands. She could hear whispers floating around her, bits of conversation that made her heart flutter. Did you see how brave she was? Someone said. I can't believe she rushed in like that. But there was a shadow hanging over the compliment. Questions seeped into her mind, pushing the pride aside. Had she truly helped? Or had she just made things worse? The man needed medical help. What if her rushing back with water had been a mistake? The thought twisted in her stomach like a winter chill. Emma looked at her with wide eyes, concern mingling with admiration. Lily, that was incredible. You were amazing back there. Thanks, but Lily started, her voice trailing off. What if I did something wrong? Lily, you did everything right. Emma insisted. You kept him calm, and you called for help. Not everyone would have reacted like that. But what if I panicked and messed it all up? What if he doesn't make it? Her voice trembled. Emma took a step closer, her expression serious. You can't think like that. You did what you could. That means something. And you know what? We need that kind of courage for the festival too. Remember? With a shaky breath, Lily nodded slowly. Emma was right. This was her chance to keep that courage alive and channel it into something positive. The festival wasn't just about fun, it could unite the town, just like she had done moments ago. Okay, Lily said, her voice stronger now. Let us get back to the planning. We can't let this stop us. The group quickly fell back into motion. Excitement bubbled again as they fired up their ideas. This time, Lily didn't just jot things down, she felt a spark inching further into her chest, a glimmer of newfound confidence. They debated themes for the festival, discussed the food lineup, and brainstormed games that would bring everyone together. Voices lifted, laughter filled the air, and for a moment, the worries faded away, but as they wrapped up the planning, Lily noticed something from the corner of her eye. Off to the side, she spotted the suited man being escorted away in a stretcher, looking a little better now. Relief washed over her, but with it came a wave of guilt. What if he wouldn't have been okay without her help? Would he remember her? Just then, an unfamiliar voice broke through her thoughts. Hey, Lily. A boy approached, someone she vaguely recognized from school. You were totally brave back there. I saw the whole thing. My dad's a paramedic, and he was so impressed. Lily's cheeks flushed. Thanks. Maybe you should talk to him. He could help with the festival since he knows a lot about first aid. The boy suggested, excitement bubbling in his tone. Lily blinked, considering the idea. That's actually a really good thought. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over Maplewood, Lily felt a sense of purpose wash over her. Maybe she wasn't just about the festival, she had the chance to help people, to make a real difference. Let us do it. Lily exclaimed, her spirit rekindled. If they reached out for help, that could bring even more to their community event. But then a shadow flickered in her mind. What if she was really out of her league? The thought lingered like the last rays of sunlight, and beneath it all, Lily felt the swell of a new uncertainty. As her friends high-fived and cheered around her, she took a moment to breathe. Would asking for help from a stranger lead to something more, or would it show just how fragile her newfound confidence was? The festival was just days away and time was ticking. What would it take for her to truly feel ready? The excitement of planning shifted in the air as Lily stood deep in thought. Her friends were buzzing around her, discussing booth sizes and bunting colors, but her mind was racing. What about talking to that paramedic? Was she really ready to reach out to someone she didn't even know? The possibilities seemed both thrilling and terrifying. Hey, Lily. You coming? Emma called, snapping her back to the present. Yeah, just a second. She had to shake off the doubts. If she wanted to help with the festival, she needed to embrace this moment, just like she had on the lawn. Taking a deep breath, she walked over to join them. They gathered around a table under the flickering string lights, illuminating faces fueled by dreams and plans. As ideas flowed, Lily felt her heart swell again. This was community. This was hope. I can't wait for the cupcake contest. Someone exclaimed, and laughter erupted. I'm in charge of the games. Another one chimed in, beaming with pride. Lily smiled, her worries melting into the background. But as the chatter continued, her thoughts flitted back to the paramedic's son. She had to do it. She needed to ask for help. Hey, does anyone know how to reach that guy, Ethan? She glanced around, trying to spot the boy who had spoken to her earlier. I think I'm going to ask his dad to help out with first aid. Good idea. We could really use that, Emma nodded, tapping a reminder into her phone. With a surge of courage, Lily grabbed her phone. She remembered Ethan's last name and quickly searched for him on social media. After a few moments, she found his profile and hesitated. What if he thought she was trying to impress him, or worse, that she couldn't handle the festival? But that lingering fear couldn't squash the urgency she felt to make this festival the best it possibly could be. Okay, let us do this, she murmured to herself, typing out a quick message. Hi, Ethan. It's Lily. I was thinking, since your dad's a paramedic, maybe he could help us with first aid for the festival. Let me know what you think. As she sent the message, her heart raced. It was done. Now all she could do was wait. The next hour passed like a whirlwind. They wrapped up planning, and Lily felt a buzz of excitement, buoyed by the anticipation of their upcoming event. But a part of her just couldn't shake the nerves. Lily. Look at this. Emma pointed to a nearby booth that was being set up for the local artisans. Can you believe how much we've achieved? Just think about what the festival will mean. I know. It's going to be amazing, Lily replied. Yet, she felt a twitch of worry creep in again. What if nobody liked it? What if everything fell apart because she wasn't prepared? Would they really pull it off? But before she could spiral further, her phone buzzed with a notification. Glancing down, she saw it was a message from Ethan. Hey, Lily. I talked to my dad. He'd love to help. Let us meet tomorrow to discuss ideas. See you. The relief was like a breath of fresh air. A grin spread across her face. Maybe, just maybe, things were coming together. Great news. She announced to her friends, the tension easing away. Yet behind the joy, a shadow of doubt lingered. What if she failed to meet expectations? As the sun dipped below the horizon, she felt the weight of what was to come, still uncertain but determined. But tomorrow awaited with new possibilities. Would she transform her fear into strength, or would the pressure become too much? The next morning came too quickly for Lily. Her mind was a mix of excitement and anxiety as she tossed in bed, replaying every detail of her message to Ethan. What if she blew it? What if the meeting was awkward? She was determined to leave those thoughts behind. The festival was bigger than her worries, and she would do everything she could to make it a success. After breakfast, she dressed in her favorite blue t-shirt, the one that always made her feel confident. She was ready to put her best foot forward. As she stepped outside, the sun shone brightly, casting a golden glow on the neighborhood. Birds chirped cheerfully. It was as though the world was encouraging her. Arriving at the park, she spotted Ethan sitting on a bench, tapping away on his phone. He looked up and waved, a friendly smile crossing his face. Relief washed over Lily. He didn't seem weirded out or judgmental. "Hey. You made it," Ethan said, standing up. "Thanks for reaching out about my dad." "Of course. It's a great opportunity for us to get some professional help," Lily said, trying to hide her nerves. "Have you thought about what he could do?" They settled onto the bench together, and Ethan excitedly shared ideas about how his dad could set up a first aid station. As they spoke, Lily sensed the tension in her chest slowly loosen. Ethan had a natural energy that made it easy to talk. Between laughter and brainstorming, the initial awkwardness faded. Just then, a commotion at the nearby playground caught their attention. A crowd had gathered, and raised voices echoed in the warm air. Lily's heart dropped. Something wasn't right. "Should we check it out?" she asked, her instincts kicking in. "Yeah, let us go," Ethan replied, leading the way. As they rushed over, they found a young girl sitting on the ground, tears streaming down her cheeks. A group of people hovered around her, looking concerned. Lily's heart raced as she realized the girl had fallen from the swings, her ankle twisted awkwardly. "Ethan, call your dad," Lily shouted. "I'm going to help her." Without hesitating, she knelt beside the girl, introducing herself. "Hey there, I'm Lily. What's your name?" "Sophie," the girl sniffled. "Okay, Sophie, let us take a deep breath. Can you tell me where it hurts?" Lily asked gently, reaching for her phone to light up the area. "I think my ankle, it hurts," Sophie said, showing Lily the injured spot. Suddenly, Lily felt a surge of confidence. She recalled the training videos she had watched with her mom. "That's okay. We're going to wait for help, alright? You're doing great just by sitting still. Breathing helps too." As she spoke, the crowd began to murmur. Some seemed impressed by Lily's calm demeanor. Others whispered about how brave she was. "Mama's coming," Sophie cried, her little voice trembling. Lily felt a mix of compassion and fear wash over her. She had never been in this position before, and her heart pounded. But those around her looked to her for guidance, and she knew she had to keep going. Just then, she heard a familiar voice behind her. "Lily." It was Ethan's dad, rushing towards them. Relief flooded through her body. Suddenly, she felt the weight of the moment shift from uncertainty to empowerment. She could do this. "Mr. Hollingsworth, I'm so glad you're here," Lily called out, directing him towards Sophie. She fell and hurt her ankle. As Mr. Hollingsworth crouched beside them, Lily stepped back, realizing she had just taken a leap into a new level of responsibility. But even amid the swirl of activity, doubt crept back into her mind. Had she really helped? Would she ever truly be ready for the festival's challenges? The moment of clarity had arrived, but so had the reality check. Was this just the beginning of something bigger for her? As she watched the scene unfold, the shadow of uncertainty trailed behind her, whispering doubts into her ear. What would come next? The sirens wailed in the distance. Lily watched as Mr. Hollingsworth expertly assessed Sophie's injury, wrapping her ankle with care. Most of the crowd had drifted away, but Lily remained, her heart still racing. She wanted to hear the reassuring words that would make everything okay. "It's a sprain, but she'll be just fine," Mr. Hollingsworth told Sophie's mother as they arrived. The relief in her eyes mirrored Lily's own feelings. As they stepped away from the scene, Ethan pulled Lily aside, his energy vibrating with excitement. "You were amazing back there. I can't believe how calm you were." Lily shrugged, trying to downplay it. "I just remembered what my mom always said about taking deep breaths," she replied, her cheeks warming. But inside, she felt different. Like she had unlocked something. "Seriously, you should think about becoming a nurse or something," Ethan said, his voice full of admiration. The compliment hung in the air, and a spark ignited within Lily. Maybe there was something more she could do. The festival was approaching, and there were still so many details to handle. Just another thing to prove herself capable of. As they walked back to their bench, Lily's mind raced with possibilities. They could set up first aid stations, safety zones, and even a home base for volunteers to assist walkie-talkie style. What about a help desk at the festival? She proposed. We could have someone answering questions, directing people, making sure everyone feels safe. Ethan's eyes lit up. That would totally work. I love that idea. Euphoria replaced her earlier nerves. They dove deep into brainstorming, and before she knew it, hours had slipped by. Ideas flowed effortlessly. They established a plan to enlist volunteers and even set up a map of the park indicating the safety stations. With sunlight beginning to fade, the park began to quiet down. The air, still warm, buzzed with their excitement. "I didn't think planning the festival would be this fun," Lily admitted, a smile breaking across her face. "We should do this more often." But as the sun dipped below the horizon, her thoughts flickered back to Sophie and how scared she had been. What if something else happened at the festival? Could she handle another emergency? "Hey, are you all right?" Ethan asked, noticing her hesitation. Lily nodded, but a heavy weight still rested in her chest. "Yeah, just thinking about the festival, and how it's a big responsibility." Ethan tilted his head, a serious look sweeping over his youthful features. "You know, I think you've got the perfect instinct for this. You helped Sophie. You can totally handle anything that comes our way." His words wrapped around her like a warm blanket, melting some of her worries. Still, new anxieties bubbled within her. "Do you really think I can do this?" she asked, testing the waters, her voice softer than she intended. The confidence in his grin fueled her hope. "Absolutely. You're a natural." Despite Ethan's encouragement, Lily felt the tug of uncertainty again. What if her confidence faltered when it really counted? Just then, a loud crash echoed from the nearby vendor area. Lily's heart pounded as she glanced over. A large stack of boxes had toppled, causing chaos among the vendors. Panic spread through the nearby booths as people rushed to help. Without thinking, she grabbed Ethan's arm, adrenaline kicking in. "Come on, we need to go." As they sprinted toward the scene, Lily's heartbeat echoed in her ears. The moment of truth had arrived, and she could feel the weight of responsibility heavier than ever before. What would she do next? The commotion grew as Lily and Ethan approached the vendor area, a cascade of toppled boxes spilling onto the pavement. Vendors scrambled to gather their wares, some shouting in distress. Lily's heart raced, but she felt a familiar spark ignite inside her. "Stay calm," she called out, her voice cutting through the chaos. Nearby folks paused, glancing at the young girl urging them forward to take control. She knelt down beside a broken box filled with colorful handmade pottery. "We need to clear these out first, so nobody gets hurt." Ethan nodded, instantly jumping into action. Together, they began lifting boxes, organizing supplies, and reassuring frightened vendors. The crowd's panic slowly transformed into determination as they worked side by side, proving to each other they could make a difference against adversity. "Thank you so much," a vendor exclaimed, gratitude spilling from her lips as she watched the kids rallying people together. Lily felt the weight of pride. They were not just fixing a mess, they were uniting a community. Just then, she spotted Mr. Hollingsworth coming toward them again. "Looks like you're not just planning a festival, you're leading one." How can I help? He asked, a smile radiating warmth. Let's get organized and make sure all this gets sorted quickly. Mr. Hollingsworth, Lily said, breathing heavily but with clarity, we need volunteers to oversee safety here, too. Can you help us keep the area clear? Absolutely. He began directing others, ensuring no one turned away in fear. With each person they rallied, the atmosphere shifted. Whispers of gratitude and admiration swirled around Lily, washing over her like a warm summer breeze. You've got this, Lily, Ethan said, watching her shine amidst the urgency. In that fast-paced moment, clarity washed over her. This festival had transformed into more than just an event. It had become a beacon of their community, a chance to stand together, showcasing the bravery and spirit of Maplewood. As the last of the boxes was tidied up, Mr. Hollingsworth turned to Lily. In a time of crisis, you showed true leadership. I'm proud of you. Her heart swelled at his words, bursting with newfound confidence. Thanks. But it wasn't just me. We all work together. That's what makes us strong. The crowd began to disperse, murmurs of appreciation floated through the air. People found their footing again, smiles slowly breaking free from earlier tension. Lily felt the warmth of accomplishment fill her up, the whispering doubts fading for the first time. Later, as the sun began to set, bathing the park in golden hues, Lily and Ethan sat side by side on a bench, quietly reflecting on the whirlwind of the day. I wasn't sure what I would do, Lily confessed, looking out at the park. But when it happened, I just knew. Ethan placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. You're a natural. Ever since the moment you rushed to help Sophie, I knew you could handle anything. And look at what you did. Excitement bubbled up as they shared dreams of the festival, a big celebration of community spirit that left its mark on Maplewood. It was about bringing happiness, love, and connection, not just the effort of one brave girl but the hearts of many. Lily? Emma called, running up, breathless but radiant, excitement radiating off her. We did it. We have everyone on board for the festival. Each word wrapped around Lily's heart, and she lifted her chin, feeling every bit of the leader the community believed her to be. Let's get this show on the road. She exclaimed, a wave of cheer igniting among them, and as the festival date approached, every moment became a triumph, a celebration of bravery, belonging, and the incredible power of a united community. On the evening of the festival, as the park lit up with laughter, bright lights, and vibrant booths, Lily took a breath. She stood amid her friends, her family, and her community, feeling their energy flow like a heartbeat. What started as a day filled with doubt turned into a night filled with endless possibilities. Lily grinned, her spirit dancing with the rhythms of joy surrounding her. She felt that promise in her heart, the promise of courage, connection, and change. But this wasn't just a fleeting moment. It was the beginning of a legacy. A legacy built on trust, collective strength, and the knowledge that everything is possible when a community comes together. She looked at her friends, aware now of her purpose, and smiled brightly. Let's create even more magic. As laughter filled the air, she marveled at how far they had come and how much further they could go. For they were united, ready for the challenges ahead, and filled with an unshakable will to make their world a better place, together. If you felt moved by Lily's journey, this is the moment to show your support. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss our next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us grow. Comment below your thoughts on this thrilling conclusion and how it made you feel. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to be part of our story. Only true fans understand how much these actions mean. Let's change the world together.